All right. Thank you for joining us. We've got a very educational webinar for you today. In fact, we're thrilled to share more about a breakthrough innovation and approach to e-commerce. And today's session is titled Power Conversions with Predictive Commerce. And as a bonus, we're very fortunate to have a very special guest who is joining us from SLI's Christchurch, New Zealand office. So what you'll learn in today's session is, first, the key commerce drivers that can be improved through predictive commerce, how machine learning drives shopping experiences for first-time visitors and your loyal customers, what steps in the buying journey are powered by predictive commerce, and we'll discuss how continuous learning can generate compound revenue growth quarter after quarter. Just a little bit of housekeeping first before we get started. All participants will be muted during the webinar. It's going to take about 45 minutes approximately. And very important, we will be recording this session. So you will receive the link to that recording via email as a follow-up. Now, at any time, if you have any questions, please type them in by clicking on the red Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And we'll make sure to answer them during the session if you have a specific question, or if it's something for our guest speaker, ask away because we'll be doing a Q&A session at the end. So a little bit about the presenters today. I'm Bob Angus. I'll be your moderator. I'm a strategic marketing consultant working with SLI, and I'm an e-commerce evangelist. I absolutely love great shopping experiences, and I've been really fortunate to help out merchants at PayPal, Symantec, and Commission Junction, and I was a contributor at Practical E-commerce. Now, I did mention earlier that we have a very special guest, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have Shaun Ryan with us today. Now, Shaun is SLI's founder and chief innovation officer, and Shaun is truly an e-commerce visionary and founded SLI System over 15 years ago. And it's an absolutely fascinating story. Just ask him how he got into site search and how that became his life work. Because he'll tell you that story about his brother and a wicked Sunday hangover. Now, modestly, he credits Grant with the original idea of improving relevant search results based on user behavior. And that's really, truly, truly important. Now, user behavior indicates intent. And that's why relevant shopping experiences are so important to your ability to sell more. I mean, the simple premise that fuels SLI is customers can't buy what they can't find. And that's what's really driven the company's innovation for the past 15 plus years. Our patented, proven learning technology allows us to provide the most relevant search results. And that's from, really the beginning, the first learning search. We also pioneered how reviews are used in search and leveraging site search for SEO, which drives traffic for you. Plus, one of the coolest features ever, the ability to have an autocomplete, or better yet, a rich autocomplete for your searches. And as a result, SLI continues to innovate today, and we're proud to be the leading SaaS search provider to the Internet Retailer Top 1000. Lots of patents, lots of innovation, lots of folks loving it. Now, innovation is critical for businesses to always keep improving. This is what's important to you. It's core to your business, especially online businesses, that you're able to drive more traffic, and with that traffic, turn those more shoppers into more buyers at a much higher rate. And of course, always looking at the eye of revenues and increasing average order sizes. And that's really what you're focused on right now as we get ready to enter into the holiday shopping season. And you're pouring a lot of money at it. There's tons and tons of budget to driving more traffic and making sure that you have the experience that customers are going to love. Now, the problem is good growth still isn't good enough. There's a lot of pressure on you to grow even faster than you already are. And really, the question is where's that rapid growth going to come from? Is all boats kind of rising with the tide of e-commerce isn't good enough for you. Plus, you have a lot of plugins that are out there, and there's lots of promises. So businesses need to create an experience that shoppers love, so that shoppers can quite simply find what they want and add to the cart fast. And so that's really where predictive commerce comes in. So this is where I'm going to hand it over to Shaun. Shaun, so the future of e-commerce is predictive. Yeah, can you give us a quick intro to the SLI Buyer Engine?
Sure, thanks, Bob. So today we're going to introduce the Buyer Engine. This is a platform that we've developed that's designed to ingest data from any number of sources. This can be product data, user-generated content, video, and other non-product content. It can be social media, as well as, importantly, user behavior data and the transactions. Now, the Buyer Engine ingests this data, it then applies machine learning to it and uses it to power a number of apps that are all designed to answer this question. What is this person most likely to buy right now? So these apps include sophisticated site search, dynamic navigation, a broad range of recommendations, sophisticated merchandising tools to give you the control you need, and a unique search engine optimization service. So combined, these apps drive more traffic to your site, they increase your conversion rate, and they increase your average order value. On top of that, there's a powerful suite of analytics that gives you insights into what's happening on your site that you can use to further improve the performance of your site. An analogy I like to use is that the Buyer Engine is like a self-driving car whose purpose is to increase the revenue on your site. And the merchandising controls that we have available for the Buyer Engine are like a steering wheel that you can grab if you need to give it a slight adjustment to the direction of the car. So what this ends up creating is a virtuous cycle. The analytics that we apply to the user behavior help drive more traffic to your website. They also are used to improve the user experience. That additional traffic that's coming to your site, plus the better user experience, drives more people to do more transactions. It also drives more people to come back and buy more from your site, which then gives us more data that can then be applied and the cycle continues.
Yeah, I love that, Shaun. The idea is, better user experience leads to more user behavior, which generates more conversions and more traffic again and again and again. And that's that compounding effect that's really powerful. Well, cool. So actually, today's session, we want to kind of make this a live kind of Q&A through the whole thing. Since we have Shaun here, it's a privilege. We get to hammer him with some good questions here. So first, there are a lot of simple site search plugins out there. You know, and everybody has search at some element on their e-commerce site. You know, how are most e-commerce sites doing search today?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. So most sites have some sort of indexing functionality that's keyword-based. So they take the keywords that people type in, and then they find the products that match those keywords, that have those keywords in those products. Now, they can apply some interesting weightings to those results, so that, for example, if the keywords appear in the title, then the ones that have they may get a boost in the results, or you could have a category field that will also get a boost if the keywords hit on that. But essentially, you end up with results that contain the keywords that you type in, but they're not necessarily relevant for the keywords that you type for. So there's an example here that I found just yesterday hunting around on Bed Bath & Beyond. You do a search for white table, and the results you see are obviously not white tables. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond, I did check this, do carry white tables. Now, these results have the word white, or they have the word table in the product title, and I'm guessing that is why they're at the top. But this is a really poor user experience, and so this is an example of those basic search technologies that are out there that are powering a disappointing number of websites. I hate seeing this experience because I know it's a really bad experience for the user, and I know if you walked into the store and asked for a white table, there's no way that you would be showing them some crockery or a tablecloth.
Yeah. Right. So it's really not just good enough to load up a product feed at best and plug it into your search.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I kind of highlighted before, you know, the future of commerce is predictive. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so what we mean by that is you want to build a model, a predictive model of what the visitor that's on your site is most likely to buy, given the information that you know about that person. Now, it may be that you don't know initially a lot about that visitor at all, particularly if they're a new visitor to your website. And so this is where you use the wisdom of the crowds, you may be showing them the most popular content. You may also be promoting some content that you want to push, some products that you want to push. But you know, with very little information, you just show them the most popular stuff. Now, as soon as that person starts interacting with your site, you're starting to get some signals about them, starting to learn a little bit more about them, and you can show them some more relevant content. So, for example, if they type a keyword in like boots, then you can show them some boots. And here, this is where you don't use just the simple algorithms that other search technologies may be providing, but you want to show the ones that they're most likely to buy, given that they've typed in that keyword boots, based on the data that you've been able to collect. And this is what you've got to build, this predictive model, saying if someone types in boots, what are the ones that they're most likely to buy? It's not the ones that have the keyword in it the most. And that's exactly what we're talking about with predictive commerce. Now, you may find out a little bit more about them. So you may know that the person is a woman, for example, and if you have that information, you can then tailor the results even more. So you may. So you might have found out a signal that person is a woman based on, for example, a previous purchase that she had made was a woman's garment, or it could be that you have some other information, or it could be that she simply clicked on a product that is a woman's product, and so you make the assumption based on that behaviour that she's a woman, and you can then filter or boost the results that are more likely to be relevant for her. Similarly, if you know that it's a man, you can then show the results that a man is most likely to do. So as you get more information about a person, your predictive model has more inputs into it and is able to more accurately predict what they're likely to buy given the information that you have about them. So the challenge for a retailer is you need to build these predictive model that is as accurate as possible. To do this, you need to be able to make sure that you've got all the right data going into that model, that you're able to build this and apply it. And that's exactly what the Buyer Engine is designed to do.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I love that, because you don't want to just show them stuff. You want to show them what they're most likely to buy. So the next question I have is, okay, that's great. I mean, we have a good example here in site search. What steps in the buyer's journey are powered by predictive commerce? There's more than just search, right?
Yeah, exactly, and it's potentially every part of the e-commerce buying process can be influenced or can be used with this predictive, the power of predictive commerce. So this may start from even when a person's not on your site and is searching on Google or some other search engine. You want to make sure that you've predicted what the terms that they might be using on Google, and that you have pages optimized for those terms, so that you have pages ranking for the terms so that they're going to go to your site and not someone else's site. Again, these pages can be built with the predictive engine. Then when they land on your site, there's a lot of opportunity there to, again, use the information that you've got. You know that they've come from Google. You know where they've landed. For example, they may land on a product that is out of stock or is not necessarily the one that you're promoting at the moment, or that you know is popular at the moment. Google may not always be sending them to the right place. So there's an opportunity there for you to show them some related products. And maybe because you know they're from Google, you'll show them up at the top rather than down at the bottom, so that they see a broader range of products than just the one that they landed on. Again, as the person starts their journey through your site, you're getting more information about them. If they go to the search box and they start typing, even the first characters they start typing, you're using a predictive model to say, what are they most likely, what's the keyword or the search term that they're most likely to be using based on the characters that they've typed in and the information we know based on our past users. And this is where the autocomplete comes into place. And then what are the products that they would be most likely to click on if they did complete that search term. And so, and that's the rich autocomplete where you're showing products as people are typing. Again, if you end up on a product page, you want to be making sure that you're showing other alternative products, and so the recommendation strategy that you have there is based on other products that they might be interested in, given that they're looking at this product. That changes again if you go to if they've got some products in the cart. Your recommendation strategy then is a different strategy. It's like you don't want to show them alternative products because they've already made their choice. So in that case, you want to show them other products that they might buy with these products to increase your average order value. And again, it continues even post-purchase when they've purchased. Again, there's an opportunity to show them not products that they might have bought together, but here's, given that they bought this product, what are other products that people who bought this product may also buy? And that can go right through into the email marketing. It could also even go in through to the retargeting. So the short answer is there's the opportunity for the predictive modeling and the predictive commerce to influence every step of the journey through an e-commerce site.
Excellent. And that's really cool as a marketer. You spend a lot of money on traffic and buying advertisements and product listing ads to drive folks to your site, but then the whole way through, not just up to the cart, but into the cart, and then post. And so another marketing thing I love is, of course, sending email. So being able to follow up with that customer and have them coming back again and again and again, but in an intelligent way. And that's a differentiator. So I love it. I love the predictive commerce. Do you have an example of somebody that's working for?
Yeah, we do. Everlast, the boxing supplies company, recently implemented some of the apps using our Buyer Engine platform. they saw a 6 times increase in conversion rate for the people that were using their site search when they implemented this, and this ended up contributing 10% of their revenue was contributed to the SLI search. And that's just one of many examples that we have. If you go to our website, you can download, I think, over 40 different case studies. Here's a few other examples of customers in different industries that have seen very tangible benefits to their site, to their user experience, and most importantly to those key numbers of their traffic on their website, their conversion rates, and their average order value.
Fantastic. Now, I noticed, a lot of these are B2C, and it's always good because I'm a shopper myself. I like to buy things. But what about B2B?
Yeah, so businesses buy more value of goods from other businesses than business to consumer. It's a much larger market. And the individuals that are in those businesses are people that shop as consumers as well. And so they expect to have the same experience. Their expectations have been raised by the experience that they have on the B2C sites. And so we're seeing that there's a lot of investment happening by B2B e-commerce companies and making sure that the experience matches the experience that they can have on those commerce sites. Now, there are a few other complications. There may be there's slightly different ways of purchasing. There may be different prices for different people if they're logged in. So those need to be accounted for. But the predictive commerce that the Buyer Engine can supply can be applied equally to those business companies.
Excellent. Okay. Well, wanted to dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to go back to the picture of the Buyer Engine. I want to dig a little bit deeper into the engine and the applications and how they work. So can you tell us what data sources can be consumed by the Buyer Engine?
Yeah, well, we've designed it to make it so that we could potentially add any sources to come into the Buyer Engine. But an important one, for example, is the user behaviour. Now, this may be as simple as the search terms that they're typing in, the products that they're viewing, but also tying those events together. So what products did they view after they did the search term? What products did they view after they were navigating on the site? Which categories, which facets did they select as they were navigating through the site? Because all of this information ends up getting used as inputs into the predictive models. The transactions that they do obviously is an important data source, and that's about what purchases did they make, but also what products did they buy together, because that information ends up being used as an important signal for the predictive engine. The product feeds, you want to make sure that there's all the information that you have about your products, because it's not only the titles and descriptions and the images, but you want to ensure that all the structured information, such as the gender and the brand and the category, all of that's associated with that as well, and information about whether the product's on sale, because all of these can be used as signals in the predictive model.
Okay, so as a merchandiser, I could tune it basically based on, let's say, I have a new product line that came in, or I have something on sale, or I have something that's a very high margin item that I want to kind of bump up in the results. That type, or out of stock. Also, you don't want to push out of stock, right?
Yeah. So these are all the types of situations that we work with our merchandisers to ensure that we get the best solution possible when they come to us with these sort of problems, and the Buyer Engine is the tool that does that.
Excellent. Well, I know that's going to help with search results. What about recommendations? Can you dig into that a little bit more?
Yeah, so the recommendations can use lots of this different activity. So everyone knows about the bought also bought as a typical sort of recommendation, but you can use different signals to work out here's some alternative products, for example. But there's potential for you to bring in the user behavior information so that the recommendations get tailored based on the previous user behavior. So, for example, you may have someone who has clicked on a product that is associated with a particular brand, and so the predictive model may say, well, that's a really important signal. So when we're making some of these alternative product recommendations, let's weight those ones of that brand more highly. So they're still related to the product that you're looking at, but they'll also personalise that person based on the affinity that you've extracted based on their behaviour on your website.
Excellent. And I love that what you had mentioned earlier also about those recommendations at the right time too, because again, like once you're already in the shopping cart, the last thing you want to do, let's say if they're searching or they're buying a DSLR camera, is show them another DSLR camera once they've already put it in their cart.
Yep, you just want to remove all the barriers so they can complete that purchase.
Yep, exactly. Maybe more lenses. Yep. How about that? One of these items actually stood out to me also on the graph is landing pages. This is always a pain point as a marketer. Got to build more landing pages and more, and it's time consuming. Can you talk about landing pages?
Yeah, so we had many customers that we'd talked to. We'd seen that this was a pain point for them to be able to create these pages easily. So we created a really easy tool so you can create pages for campaigns with a simple drag and drop interface. But it still uses the data from the buyer engine potentially to power the results that you see. So you may say, I want to see this selection of results, and the buyer engine can determine exactly which of those results are shown and the order of those. Or you can manually do that yourself. So you've got the choice to use the power of the buyer engine or the power of the merchandiser or some sort of combination. And so these pages can be easily created and then just used as landing pages for various campaigns.
Nice. That saves a ton of time. I think one more question on the buyer engine, and that's about traffic. I mean, traffic is so important for everybody. More people coming in the door. Talk to me about SEO and how the buyer engine helps out with that.
Yes, well, search engine optimization is obviously a huge topic for any retailer online. And the buyer engine helps with search engine optimization in 3 different ways, at least. One is with the dynamic navigation that we provide. We ensure that we follow search engine optimization best practices to leverage the structure that you have inherent in your data to expose that structure to the search engines so that you have pages optimized for all the different categories, brand facets, and anything else that's relevant. And we will often see that there's a lot of traffic will end up landing on these navigation pages once they're properly optimized. That can be huge. Another one is the landing pages themselves that are created through the landing page creator. You can have control over those from a search engine optimization point of view, whether you want them to be indexed, and you can optimize the various tags on the page, etc., for them. And then the other one where we've really innovated is the insight that you can use the site search data to automatically help with search engine optimization. And the basic idea there is that the keywords that people type in site search are really similar to the keywords that people type into a search engine such as Google. And so our product will automatically create pages optimized for the most commonly typed in site search results if you have good results for them. And again, it's got a really nice way of linking these pages together using terms that it's learned from the user behavior. And we can see that for our customers that leverage this product, it drives a lot of traffic that then goes on to convert.
Love that. I bet that's really good with long tail, especially because I think a lot of folks optimize their brand terms or kind of the larger keywords, but they can't get all those.
Oh yeah, and because we'll see on a site there'll be tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of keywords that will get used on the site search, and you want to focus your SEO efforts on those high traffic keywords you want to be optimizing them, applying all your best practices, but it's just not scalable to do that for such a large number of keywords. And so having a solution that's automatic, that you still have the control over, and we've recently introduced yet more merchandising controls associated with that product, is really important for us.
Excellent. Love it. More traffic. All right. Well, thank you, Shaun. The Buyer Engine, it's pretty darn cool. So to wrap up, I love this discussion because it really touches on some key things, especially, it fundamentally leads to a better experience for shoppers. And we all, as e-commerce companies, we want great things for our shoppers. We want great experiences throughout their entire journey. And, of course, that's all going to great experiences is going to translate into the metrics that folks care about, namely, again, more shoppers turning into buyers. That's increasing your conversion rates at a much faster rate than you would otherwise. Decreasing bounce rates, and of course, more in that shopping cart so that average order values are going up. And I love that, and then we kind of, I wanted to touch on that SEO topic at the end because the other element that's so critical is more traffic, and folks become more and more tied to and spending a lot of money to drive more traffic to their site. But that's actually what the key is with this engine, is the compounding revenue growth, quarter after quarter, year after year, and it's all thanks to the Buyer Engine. All right, well, Shaun, thank you so much for introducing us to the SLI Buyer Engine. It's fantastic. Well, I'm going to go to Q&A now, and so make sure to type your questions into, if you haven't already, type them into the Q&A section. Again, there's a button at the bottom of your screen. While I let folks do that, wanted to remind you, I highly, highly recommend that everyone checks out the numerous case studies, industry guides, best practice articles that are on the SLI website. So you'll find those at www.sli-systems.com/resources. All right, so I have a couple questions, so let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm going to actually switch to a nice slide here that we set up. Okay, so had one question from Mohan. Mohan asked, can I do testing or have control over the results that are returned?
Absolutely. That's, it's just a simple best practice for e-commerce is anything that you're going to put onto your site, if you can, you want to test them. And so we have, as part of the Buyer Engine, a multivariate testing tool, so you can test different strategies, different algorithms, and measure their impact and work out, does this make a difference for my business? And then also the merchandising console that we have gives you fine-grained control for any part of the user experience. You want to let the Buyer Engine, for the most part, run, and do its thing. But when you want to go in and you may have a new product line, or you may have something that you're advertising somewhere else, and you want to make sure that that's featured prominently throughout your site, then you can go in and use the merchandising consoles for that to do those sorts of actions.
Nice. Okay. Next question. Kayla asked, we are a local mattress retailer, and Google Analytics shows that our main search terms are general terms. So just, she said like box spring, or a mattress size like twin size or queen. Yep. How would site search help show relevant products?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and it's extremely common behaviour. When you look at the most common terms, they do end up being fairly generic terms. So there's a couple of ways. So one, what we'll do is for those particular terms, we'll learn what are the most relevant results that we should be showing we'll basically be predicting what are the ones what are the products that people are most likely to be buying for those terms, and we'll be doing that based on how we see your users interacting with the site and interacting with the results and bringing those results up to the top. Now, in addition to that, when you look at those reports, you sort of think, well, the people are only using generic terms, but inevitably with site search, there's a very long tail to the terms, and so there'll be many, many other terms, variations of those, and other terms that people will also be typing into your site that you don't really have time to manually look at and say, well, what do I want that user experience to be for that particular term? And again, this is where a machine learning approach that's automated, that is addressing the relevance for all of those terms right down to the long tail was really important.
Excellent. Okay, I have the next question from Benjamin. What can manufacturers do to help retailers sell more through search?
Yeah, and that's a great question, Benjamin. I think, as I talked about with the Buyer Engine, it's an important part of that is making sure that you have as much data going into that engine as you can, so that it's got the inputs it can to do as the best job possible with its prediction about what people are searching for. So, not surprisingly, and I'm sure you get this from your customers, if manufacturers can give more data about their products, and this may be more images, it may be more descriptions, it may be reviews, user-generated data, it may be videos, it may be structured data such as dimensions, other things such as fabric type or anything that's associated with your product. All of that data ends up going into the Buyer Engine and then giving the engine the opportunity to use that to help promote those products.
Nice. All right. Next question. This is from James. And predictive search is very interesting, and I have customers that ask for it often. That's great. I love that. Thanks, James. Can you explain at some point how SLI differs from other machine language search providers?
Yeah, and that's a good question and one that we commonly get. Now, so and it can be really confusing for retailers if there's lots of vendors saying we offer this machine learning. So one of the key things what I'm going to point out here are sort of objective things that you can look at and verify for yourself rather than just having to believe us. One of them is our history. We brought out the very first learning search in 2001. So we've been applying the principles of machine learning to improving the user experience for a very, very long time, and longer than any of the other competitors. The other one that I think is really key is the scale that we have as a company. We are a public company, so we share a lot of information about our company is available, and we are the largest independent site search provider. You can look at the Internet Retailer Top 1000 and see who they're using for site search, and we are the largest SaaS site search provider. So we've got experience with more customers, and a big thing about machine learning is the more data you have, generally the better it is. We serve in the last 12 months, we served 17 billion search queries across all of our customers, and that's just for the search queries. If you look at the recommendations queries, it's another scale higher than that again.
Excellent. Actually, that actually ties in nicely to the next question, because so Rob asks, how many data points do I need before I start seeing the benefits of the algorithm?
Yeah, that's a good question too. And as I said, the more data you have, the better. But we will see that relatively small e-commerce sites can still get benefit from this. So we may be working with customers that as small as $5 or $10 million of revenue. and sort of relatively little traffic on that. However, we're also working with customers that are doing billions of dollars of revenue on their site, and for that they just have so much more data, and the algorithms. I was going to say they digest this data, they love it. Yep. Although I don't want to ascribe personalities to the algorithms just yet.
Yeah, so basically, more SKUs, that's going to have more data, and certainly depending on your site traffic, the more site search queries coming in, that's going to feed the machine.
Yeah, the more users you have on your site, the more data you're going to have. But hopefully those revenue numbers sort of give you some idea of the scale that you need to have for the algorithms to work, the range.
Excellent. Okay, got a couple more questions. Sheila asked, what e-commerce platforms does this work with?
Yeah, so the Buyer Engine can work beside any e-commerce platforms. So we have customers using a broad range of e-commerce platforms. Magento is the most common, but we also have customers using IBM or using Hybris or using homegrown ones in different markets around the world. We are a global company. We'll see different e-commerce platform providers. So the short answer is we can work with any platform providers.
Excellent. All right, I think we have time for one more question. We're almost at 45 minutes here. And by the way, this is just an absolutely fascinating discussion. I'm loving it. I could keep on going. Jennifer asks, can you use these applications individually? So I guess, can you use just site search?
Yeah, so the answer to that is yes, you can, but the applications leverage each other, and so that the more applications you use and the more data there is, the better those applications are working. So you can use one individually, but the more you use them, the better.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, more data, more conversions, more traffic. Back to that compounding thing again. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much, everyone. Absolutely great discussion that we've had. Want to say thank you. You have made this a great discussion, Shaun. Learned a ton. Again, folks, if you get a chance, we'd highly recommend going to the resources section on the SLI website. Grab some of those best practice articles and industry briefs. With that, Shaun, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, everyone, for listening.
Have a great day.